You know, one of Donald Trump's favorite things to do these days is just completely run down this country. Every time he opens his mouth, he has to talk about how we're a third world country now, how that we're losing, how that we're losing on the world stage. We're not respected by anyone. He just keeps pumping this rhetoric, whether he's out at a rally or whether he's sitting in an interview. He'll just come right out and say that this country is pathetic. Take a look at this.
The country is just, it's so pathetic. And you know, other countries are watching this.
So there's one thing I've noticed about Donald Trump. It's only pathetic when he's not in charge. If he's president, America is great. America is thriving. America is winning. But if he's not, it's truly pathetic in this third world country. I found this old clip. Now, this is back before January 6th of 2021. It's after the election. You can see that he's still steaming mad. You can see it all over him that he's so mad that he got his ass handed to him in the election. And he's not even out of office yet, but he's already calling us a third world country. Take a look.
Not a lot of time between now and then to make your case to overturn the vote. At this point, are you looking to change the outcome of the election or try to make a case to the American people that it wasn't fair?
Well, I think the case has already been made if you look at the polls. It was a rigged election. You look at the different states, the election was totally rigged. It's a disgrace to our country. It's like a third world country. These ballots pouring in from everywhere using machinery that nobody knows ownership, nobody knows anything about. They have glitches, as they call them, glitches. The glitches weren't glitches. They got caught sending out thousands of votes, all against me, by the way. Now, this was like from a third world nation, and I think the case has been made, and now we find out what we can do about it. But you'll see a lot of big things happening over the next couple of.
So he wasn't even officially out the door yet, and he had already started with the rhetoric that we were now a third world country. If he's not in charge, everything's gone to shit in his mind. But it was so good to finally see someone stand up and call him out for the shit talking that he does. This is a great clip. Can't wait for you guys to see it. Governor of Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro, finally said out loud what the rest of us was thinking. And I was so glad to see him do it on mainstream TV. Take a look at this.
Look, I don't know how the conviction will ultimately play out. I know that the good people of Pennsylvania, they care a lot, whether you're in rural communities, urban communities, suburban communities, about, four basic things. They want good schools for their kids. They want safe communities. They want economic opportunities, and they want their freedoms to be protected. And you know what? I think they want to be led by someone who is honest and decent, someone who's actually on their side, like Joe Biden. And all they hear from Donald Trump is a whole bunch of whining about this country. And I think Donald Trump's got to quit whining, got to quit trying to divide us. I mean, consider this, Jen. We're producing more energy than ever before in this nation. We have the strongest economy in the world, and we are beating China for the first time in decades. More people went to work this morning in America than at any other time in our nation's history. So I got a message to Donald Trump and all his negativity and his whining. Stop shit-talking America. This is the greatest country on earth, and it's time that we all start acting like it. The good people of Pennsylvania understand that this is a great country, understand that we got a whole lot going for us. And now it's time for us to continue this path of progress that Joe Biden has laid out and not go back to a negative time, not listen to the whining of the former president, and instead focus on a positive future for all of us.
Quit your whining.
He's right. All Donald Trump does is whine, complain, and play the victim. He stands up there and runs down this country every chance he gets, and people rallies around him to see it. People lines up to see him just sit and shit talk this country, make everything about him, and somehow he's duped them into believing that if they'll just make him dictator for one day, he will fix all of their problems. My question is, when has Donald Trump had a new idea? Since he came down the escalator. When has he ever had a new idea, or when has he ever actually executed and produced any idea that he said? He had the most first grade idea ever on border security. We'll just build a wall. I mean, anyone with a brain in their head can see all the flaws in that argument, but everyone was for it. Everyone cheered for it. Everyone cheered it on like it was this great idea. And he's never came up with anything better since. He has no new ideas whatsoever. He's not running on any of those ideas. He's not laying out a step-by-step plan as to how he plans to go about fixing this country. What he's talking about is deporting people on day one. He talks a lot about that. He talks about stacking the Supreme Court even further to the right so that they can do completely away with women's health. And he just says all that stuff out loud now. He's not even holding back. He's sat and talked about revenge and retribution. That's all he's talked about. And my question is, how is that going to affect your day-to-day life? How's it going to make your life any better? When you sit down to make decisions on how to feed your family, how to pay your bills, health crisis that you may face in your life, how is any of those things that Donald Trump is saying going to bring any value to your life? And do you really believe that if he's reelected, he's just going to magically fix everything? Everybody that's ever worked alongside him has talked about what a clown show it is, that he clearly does not know what he's doing, that he has no clue how things works, and he thinks he can just say things and make them happen. And when he says things that can't actually happen, then he turns it and says that everyone's working against him. He's in there trying to help. He's in there trying to fix things, and they're working against me. And my argument is, no, that's not what's going on at all. You don't know how to work within the system. You don't understand government. You don't understand how it all works. So you're just pulling these random first grade ideas out of your ass and throwing them out there. And yeah, they'll put it on a t-shirt. They'll put it on a bumper sticker. They'll put it on a flag and they'll wave it around, not realizing that nothing on it has any substance whatsoever. There's no substance and there's no helping this country at all. You can love Joe Biden, hate Joe Biden. You can agree with him or disagree with him. It's up to you. But he's rolled up his sleeves and he's went to work for this country. And every time he talks about this country, he does so in a positive light. He points to the obvious threat that Donald Trump poses to our democracy because that's who's challenging him. He does that. I'll give you that all day long. But he talks about our country and how great it is and how far we've come and how much we've accomplished and how much more we want to accomplish. Donald Trump has this idea that if he gets in, everything will be better. It'll just be better. But he's never been able to explain it. I've been sitting back watching and listening to him ever since he came down that damn escalator. And I'm like, okay, dude, you've got these catchphrases. You've got these cliches. You've got these ideas, but none of them, you're not explaining how any of them is going to work. You're just saying that you can do it and we're supposed to trust you. He talked about how he had the best healthcare plan in the world. Did we ever see it? Did it ever show up? I must have missed a meeting because I never saw it. He never had one. All he had in mind to do was tear down anything that a Democrat had put in place. And that's why the Republicans love him, because they know, hey, this guy is so thirsty for power. All we have to do is just stick a pen in front of him and a piece of paper, and he will do away with everything, with all the progress that's been made. And he's duped his crowd into believing that progress is a bad thing. Last year, we had that goofy country singer, John Rich, write a song that said, stick your progress where the sun don't shine. That's their mentality. They don't want to see this country progress. They want to see it continue to just be a mirrored image of them and only them. And if you don't look like them, sound like them, believe in their God, vote for Donald Trump, then you're not part of the club and you should be deported. You should be put out of this country. You should be silenced. That's not what America is about. Nothing Donald Trump preaches is what we're actually about. What he preaches is a very distorted and twisted and sick and twisted view of America in my mind. It's not the America that our grandfathers fought for. It's not the America that we've believed in for so long and that we've worked and strived to make better. I want to see it become a better place, whether it's under Democratic leadership, Republican leadership. I just want to see the country thrive and do better. And I don't want to follow a man who every time he's given a microphone, he just has to shit talk us and run us down, because that's going to get us nowhere. And it's not bringing anyone together. Who wants to unify with a guy like that? How can we reach across the aisle and shake hands when both of his fists are clenched and he's sitting there calling us the enemy? We're the vermin that needs to be rooted out. He has been the most divisive figure in American politics, bar none. There has never been anyone that has ever divided us like this. I thought we were divided under George W. Bush. I look back at that now and I'm like, man, that was like peace and harmony compared to this, because we might have disagreed as to why we were in a war. We might have disagreed on those things, but we weren't out there rooting for the enemy. I don't remember seeing journalists go interview Saddam Hussein and give him a platform and talk about his perspective. It was, at least there was a little bit of sanity still left in this world, and now there's none. And the people that are over here crying out for sanity, like the great Bill Hicks one time said, he said, we live in a world where a plea for sanity sounds like sour grapes. You know, I have people reach out to me all the time, man, you're bitter, you're mad, you're divisive. No, I'm just pointing out why things are so divisive. I'm pointing out why we've become and how we've become so polarized. And I'm just trying to rein it in a little bit. I'm just trying to speak with a voice of reason and make people think. That's really all I'm here to do, is just make people in my part of the world think about it from a different perspective and realize that all these ideas Donald Trump actually has no substance and is not going to make your life better at all. And it sure as hell isn't going to make our country great if he gets in and terminates the Constitution anytime he wants to. If he becomes dictator on day one, that's not what making America great should have ever been about. When they say make America great, they want to go back to the 50s. They want to go back to a time when everyone that disagreed with them stayed in the closet literally and kept their mouth shut, and no one stepped out of line. That's what they want to go back to. They're against progress. They don't want to see us evolve. Well, the rest of us do. And that's why we have to vote come November, because we believe in democracy and we want to see this country progress. And there's only one way to do that, and that's get behind President Biden.